So while Redo of Healer's anime was released, it seems that there may not be a publication for the light novel or the manga, as the author has come out to admit that publishers in the West do not want to release it, which is absolutely absurd. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So as we've seen multiple times with anime, and how the Puritans always tried to dictate what can and can't be brought over to the West, and how they think that anime should be censored because sexy woman bad, or it doesn't fit our agenda. This is how they always are, They think they have the moral high ground over the consumer, and they think that they can tell the consumer what they can and cannot buy, when that's not how it works. The consumer has every right to choose what they can and can't buy. So, of course, publishers in the West have refused to release the light novel, which is absolutely absurd. And, we're going to go over a couple of articles and a few other things in terms of this, because it's ridiculous. It goes to show how much these publishers in the West are clowns. So, this is what was stated. Got to give a shout out to Hayachi there, because this is how I found out about the information. So this is what Hayachi stated. Apparently a Western publisher refused to release the light novel in the West despite the fact that there is a high demand for it. This is sad when a publisher decides what is okay and not an official rating board. Otherwise, this is nothing new in the West, which it's not. You see this happen all the time, and how these clown publishers will try to censor whatever they deem as not to our standards, which is ridiculous. It's like Funimation and that issue with interspecies reviewers, and how they just completely outright canceled it after episode 3 because they stated themselves that it didn't fit our standards. Seriously, it's a situation just like that. So the author themselves came out, and this is what they stated. For overseas, I've received several inquiries about buying the English version of Redo of Healer, but it doesn't exist. We tried to publish the English version, but it was refused by an overseas publisher. The situation may change if many requests reach overseas labels. Which this goes to modern Puritans trying to censor something that they don't like from being published. Here you are with a publisher that is going against Redo of Healer because they just don't want it over there. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous that this is happening, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. Look at the attacks that Shield Hero got. Look at the attacks that Goblin Slayer got. And Goblin Slayer in the first episode had a very spicy scene, but it's not a bad series. Redo of Healer, definitely a very, very edgy series, but that's up to the customer to decide whether they want to purchase it or not. You know what I mean? It's not up to these publishers. And if you look at the fan support, people were responding to the author. Some people were asking, will there be a Spanish version? Another person saying, what if your Japanese publisher published an English edition of Redo of Healer and sells it online? It seems like there's demand for it, which there's a lot of high demand. If you look into this, you will see that there's a lot of people who really want the series. I myself, I would love to buy this series. I would love to buy a hard copy. That's just me. That would be an awesome option. It would rid themselves of the puritanical middlemans while increasing sales profits by dealing directly with the fan base, which would be a very good idea, because it'd be a way to make money, and it would also be a way to make the fans happy with this, because they'd be able to get a product they want. That's better that way than dealing with the West, because, look, they don't need Western outlets. And with how the internet has grown so much since the past 30 years, when back in the 90s they would have needed an outlet like Funimation, for example, as we used to know, or 4Kids when they used to exist, they used to use them to try to get anime out there. Well, now you don't have to have that. The internet, it's a different time. And I want to point out some statements here, like Raging Golden Eagle had a very good statement here, shout out to him, where he stated Western publishers would censor your work, which is true. Would be a lot better to release an English version in Japan or an English-speaking Asian country. We'd rather buy it from there than from our own publishers. And that's true, because our own publishers, what are they going to do? They're going to come out there, they're going to look at it, they're going to screech, "Ree!" And then they're going to say, it has to be censored. It doesn't fit our standards. That's what they always do. That's what they're going to do. And it's ridiculous, because not only are they stopping the consumer from buying what they want, same time, they're also trying to take away the freedom of expression and creativity that the creator has. They're trying to take that away and tell them that they can or can't do this, which is something that they do not have the authority to do, and they don't have the right to do. Which is, like I said, it's absurd that they think that they can do this stuff. So let's take a look at this article from Nichiban. Print version of Redo of Healer refused by English publishers, according to the creator. So this is what was stated. Rui Tsukio, the author of the series Redo of Healer, among others, has claimed that English publishers have refused publishing the title. Tsukio posted his experience with English publishers on Twitter. He explains despite demand for an English version, he has been refused by overseas publishers. Now, of course, this is the tweet right here, so we'll skip past that. Redo of Healer is a recent series that has experienced controversy in the Western world surrounding its release, including a canceled German simulcast, which we're going to get to that article in just a moment also. However, the series has been picked up by anime distributor and publisher Sentai Filmworks and is being simulcast on their High Dive streaming platform. Unlike the anime series, which has been created with 3 different formats with various content cut, such consideration hasn't been given for the light novel and manga. We can speculate that English publishers have been asked to review and consider Redo of Healer in its uncensored light novel and manga formats, and it has been refused. Yeah, they probably looked at it, and when they were looking at it, they were like, and dropped it and like, oh, we can't have this. That's probably how they acted. At this point, the overseas future of Redo of Healer in print format is unclear. While the anime series has a home on High Dive, fans will also have to wait to see what will happen to the light novel and manga. Tsukio himself, however, has hope that overseas publishers might change their minds if many requests reach overseas labels. I'd say screw Western publishers in terms of that, and I'll get into why. I'll get into the reason in just a moment, but I want to take a look at this article first, which is also from Nichiban. Redo of Healer simulcast canceled in Germany, which is ridiculous, because the reason for canceling the simulcast is because they wanted to avoid controversy. Yeah, I find this to be absolutely ridiculous, to avoid controversy, and yet, what are the fans supposed to do then? You know, that's the problem, because now they've cut that from the fans. The German publisher Anymoon Publishing has canceled their simulcast release of Redo of Healer in order to avoid controversy. The cancellation was first reported by German anime news blog Anime2U. Anymoon Publishing has dropped the series, and according to Anime2U, cited an aversion to controversy as their reason. This means that German fans of the series will need to find a new way to watch the show, which frequently features scenes of certain fantasies. And guess what this issue sounds exactly like? It sounds exactly like the same thing that happened with another certain anime known as Interspecies Reviewers, which there was nothing wrong with that series either, but we knew what happened with Funimation and that whole thing. So yet again, here we are with another Interspecies Reviewers issue. I'm not even kidding, it's the same thing. Take a look at this. The cancellation of Redo of Healer comes as a surprise since Studio TNK had the forethought to create 3 different versions with varying degrees of cut content. However, it appears that even the most tame of the 3 versions fell outside of Anymoon's standards. Oh boy, yet again, like I said, another situation just like Interspecies Reviewers. I mean, it's history repeating itself all over again here, which is absolutely absurd. Because now this falls outside of Anymoon's standards, which, this is what I mean. This is ridiculous. In contrast, Sentai Filmworks has persisted in releasing the series on their streaming platform High Dive, where episodes continue to be simulcast every week. You know, props to Sentai Filmworks on that one. I'll give them that. At least they're sticking to it. They're not cutting it. Now, if the author wants to make some money, well, let me give my suggestion on how they can make themselves some money. So, what they could do is, if they want to get it out there, I'm sure Faku could be one that could actually take in the manga. You know, the reason why I say that is because, well, they are the largest English hentai publisher in the world, so I don't think that they would reject Redo of Healer. I think that that could be one that could really work, and it could get out there, you know, and be translated for people to be able to read. I think that that could be a way that it could be done. You know, that's one solution to the problem I think that could be done here. And if you recall, Faku themselves, well, they had an issue earlier last year as well, where Amazon was removing their books, which, yet again, was absurd. It goes back to the agenda I've talked about that's against anime, about how all these companies are trying to remove it, which shouldn't be happening, obviously. Another option, they could go to Indiegogo. The author could crowdfund this, I think, and this would be a good way to do it. I mean, if you're looking at, indie developers, like indie game developers, indie comic book creators, you look at them. Why they're doing so well is that they don't have to fit a standard. They can just do whatever, however they want, without being told how they can do things. And this could allow the creator to freely be able to get their own manga out there and light novels without having to worry about some publisher telling them, oh, you can or can't do this. This is what I think could be a very good solution to the problem. And then they would be able to get this out the way that they want to, and the fans can enjoy the content the way it was meant to be, enjoyed, meant to be read and even seen as. That would be a lot better than having to go through some Western publisher who is going to do what? Well, they're going to either censor it or they're just going to reject it, as we've already seen. And this way, the fans can get what they want, but at the same time, the authors can also get the money that they would naturally be making if they were selling this. In fact, they'd get more. So I think that this would actually be a really good way for them to do this. And also, who knows, they could have maybe some figurines or something fun for the fans to also get if they had like a higher tier deals or whatever. People could pay more for that. And fans would eat this up. This would be a good way for the author to make a good amount of money too. So they don't have to deal with the crap that these Western publishers are trying to throw at them or just refuse their product. I mean, I think this is a lot better this way, and people could get their money's worth, and they could also enjoy what they've been wanting this entire time. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you are still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the news videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.